Will be limited in this one today, but offense versus defense will look just like a real game. Ready to get it started. Will Rickard, the freshman from Hoover High School, with the kickoff and a simulated return. Henry Ruggs with world-class speed, and so that's where the Crimson offense today. Najee Harris will start first-string running back. Tua puts it in the air immediately. There's Jerry Jeudy, the reigning Biletnikoff Award winner, as the best wide receiver in college football.
And that's going to take over that feature role.
And they will add a couple of freshmen once fall ball gets started, including a 5-star. Here's Brian Robinson out of the backfield, bringing in Trey Sanders. Nigel Knott with the stop there in the secondary for the Crimson team. Back has had the best quarterback depth in college football over the last couple of seasons. It'll be interesting to see what the second string picture looks like. And we'll get a view of that today, trying to find Jeudy, and it was incomplete. Coverage downfield by Patrick Surtain. He brought in Steve Sarkisian. I asked him, what did you want to improve about this offense? They turned it over a lot late. There's Jeudy with a first down catch.
Well, that's the second bootleg pass that we've that would give them 3 really solid corners to work with.
Plenty of depth in the secondary for Pete Golding, first-year defensive coordinator. Tagovailoa pressure. They'll credit a sack to Yabi Anoma, the sophomore from Baltimore.
When you think about this place and you look around this stadium and talk about what it means to you, what does come to mind?
At our best, we're the best team in the country, so I'm sure Coach Saban will continue that mindset going on, so they'll be fine.
You didn't like that, though, did you?
No, I didn't like that. No. Yeah, that's why I kind of I stopped talking. I was like,
3rd and 4, and play action. Man coverage to the outside and great hands. Wow. It is live. Laura?
Yes, it is.
On the ground and into the end zone for our first score of the day. A 4-yard touchdown plunge for Harris.
This is a guy that over his career.
And he thought that the best way to do it would be to be able to disguise their coverages any better. Mac Jones corks one deep, and it is caught for a first down by John Mechie, freshman from Canada, with a 49-yard gain.
Get the interception, but they turned it into a touchdown.
So 3rd and long now for Mac Jones, and he's able to find Brian Robinson out of the backfield. And I'd never heard Todd a defensive
back into the quarterback's hand and make him make a decision after the ball snapped.
Will Rickard from 43 yards, and that's good. Former Hoover Buck. Tua Tagovailoa 6 of 9 for 60 yards through 1 quarter. And on play action, another bootleg. Loses Anthony Jennings. And little play fake again. And they'll finally whistle him down as Tua shows off his athleticism on the run.
More comfortable in the pocket. And Todd, I'm wondering, how specifically does that eye discipline timed up with the footwork help him?
Well, take a look at this little razzle-dazzle play. I think, Laura, the thing about it is, again, as good as his numbers, the carryover. My sons like that show, too. They're big Gordon Ramsay fans.
Incomplete on 3rd and 3, trying to find Jeudy. Broken. Tua is the holder. And Crimson will add to its lead. Up 10.
In the game, he made plays, and then last year, he was just unblockable.
Mac Jones able to dump it off to Townsend, who will play wide receiver and running back.
We'll do that better. We got to have better balance.
Will we see more Tua in this game?
Oh yeah, this is just when it goes 4 minutes in the game, we
better back up.
when it goes 4 minutes in the game, we're always going to go 2 minutes. So we want to have the starters
Mid-season form.
Yeah.
There's a completion for John Mechie, the freshman, with a little bit of room to run. And it'll go for 30 yards.
That was a great throw by Talia because there was really good pressure by Chris Allen. A-Day game.
He's the only wide receiver in this freshman class from Brampton, Ontario, by way of Maryland. Picked off! Great play by Eddie Smith from his safety spot. And the sophomore from Slidell, Louisiana, takes it back to midfield. Pound guard when that move occurs.
Well, when you want to run the ball powerfully downhill, you need big physical guards.
Tagovailoa gets it off to Miller Forrestall. Tight end out of Cartersville, Georgia.
Got the feeling that starting at Oklahoma. So quarterbacks are moving, and Justin Fields leaving Georgia. Looks to be the starter at Ohio State. So that position in particular taking advantage of some of in the fourth quarter of the SEC championship win over Georgia when he rallied his team from 2 touchdowns down. He's a hero in the state of Alabama.
The last couple of years, Alabama has had that. My story is not done, and it isn't. We'll see what he can do at Oklahoma. Mac Jones lets it fly. Deep ball, which is broken up, trying to find Jalen Waddle. Jalen Armour Davis draws the flag, though. On 2nd and 1. Able to pick up the first down behind Robinson from Hillcrest High School here in Tuscaloosa yesterday. He said, number one, there's trust, and there's got to be trust between the quarterback and center. Here's Kedrick James, talented tight end. He'll take it up the sideline, but they say in. Touchdown. And I hope we don't have review today.
Step down with that foot and follow through on the throw.
If Tiger can get taken down on the golf course, you never know about a football game. That would incomplete to Jerry Jeudy.
That's a second drop now in the game we've seen by Jerry Jeudy.
Paper play. Deep ball completed. There's Mechie, the freshman.
Couple chunk plays is all you need. Get a couple chunk plays.
Jones dumps it off to Robinson. No whistle. And Robinson gets back to his feet and will pick up another 23 yards.
Well, now they are really close to.
It'd be a 51-yarder from here. Robinson straight ahead. Sheds one guy and runs into the next. He'll pick up a first down and get out of bounds. Scooby Carter credited with a stop.
Make a play, call timeout, get your field goal unit on.
Pump and go to the end zone. Touchdown, Xavier Williams.
Wow, great play. They really fooled Scooby, the freshman cornerback. A very talented outside linebacker, defensive end type, can help this defense this year.
Little brother gets touched in the backfield. That'll be a sack. Christopher Allen in there for the sack.
With Saban all along and is one of the real key parts of this staff. Nice throw and catch there.
And Devontae Smith takes it inside the 40, and that continuity continues.
We were complacent last year at the end of the season, created some bad habits, caught up with us, and it was an issue, down the road. So we got exposed against Clemson, so we want to try to avoid those things in the past, in the future. So, and the whole future.
On stepping up into that role this spring.
Slant converted to Mechie, and it goes for 15 yards.
Defensive coordinator now at this place is way beyond what he might have thought he'd be doing right now. I mean, he was very content coaching at lower levels and smaller schools. He loves coaching football. He's a really smart guy. I spent some time.
And that, obviously, paid off well in his interview here.
He learned
looking
how
for
to
pass. It's Jalen Waddle, and he'll scramble with it. And Waddle gets tripped up after picking up the first down.
Discipline, teaching me the process and go through the things that these guys are going through right now, man. I just miss it and can't wait to get back on that football field.
Yeah, you also developed yourself so well that you ended up positioning yourself to be a first-round draft pick. We're going to get back to that in a moment, but Tom, we have a touchdown.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle with a 24-yard reception for Paul Tyson, freshman from Trussville, Alabama. And he's intercepted. Jalen Moody with the return inside the 20. Moody following a blocker, and he gets to the pylon and in. A pick six for Jalen Moody. 30-yard return. Looked like a running back.
See in the fall with Steve Sarkisian is a lot more bunch formations, motion, stacks formation, where it's really difficult to get a read on who's going where with these things because, here you go. You've got Nick Saban, one of his best friends at the next level is Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot of time together. And, of course, Belichick has made a living to get dumped on.
So we got 15 minutes left.
It's a running clock.
Tagovailoa, great hands on that catch by Devontae Smith. It goes for 13 yards.
Was Raekwon Davis on defense. The other one was Najee Harris on offense.
Over the middle to Harris, and a hurdle will get him upended. He bounced off his head. Jared Maiden flipped him, and Harris didn't think he was down.
Scholarship too, and some they're 5-star guys also. So
Rain coming down hard now against the blitz. Man coverage on the outside, and that one out of bounds and incomplete.
ball here in the middle of the field, the tight end.
Number 87 on the left side, and nobody there. Judy, the nearest receiver.
Georgia, if we would play them in the SEC championship, are they good enough to beat Mississippi State? Those Auburn, those are the things, the questions that they have to answer when they're building their offense.
College football, where the offense, generally speaking, is so far ahead of the defense?
I don't think it's that so much. I think that Nick has done a really good job of keeping his defense up to speed. You know, he made some changes a few years ago to
Championship game. He said, look, I was on the defensive side. I saw how talented he was. We had a good plan for him, but he really gave Tua a ton of.
Right? I think originally that was the idea that they'd face an elite level quarterback in that opening game. Because I'm sure David Cutcliffe, who is one of the best there is in terms of training quarterbacks, trained both of the Manning brothers. Quickness and suddenness off the football. As he gets bigger and stronger, being in this weight program, you know, they expect him to be one of their next great ones. It happens for every position, but in particular if you're a quarterback, to get in early and to learn what you can learn.
Wide open is Jerry Judy. And he turns on the afterburners to take it in from 54 yards out.
Kirby Smart and his staff did everything they could to avoid that and to avoid any kind of letdown, but it wasn't there. So I think that I think Georgia will have a little bit of a first half. He wanted to go for it again, and I think Nick Saban said, "No, let's just slow it down. We're not gonna rub salt in it here. You got the win in hand. We'll let the clock run down. We'll call timeout. We'll try another field goal maybe here. No, let's run it all the way out. Game's over."
Yeah, only thing left to watch today is if Tiger can continue his run. He's 2 strokes off the lead through 8. Mac Jones, 19 of 23, 271 yards and 2 touchdowns with a pick.